In order to live in Japan and receive administrative services, you must correctly complete immigration procedures and address registration. Failure to complete these procedures may result in penalties, deportation, or the cancellation of your residency status. We will explain immigration procedures and address registration. We will also provide information about residence cards and My Number cards, so please remember these details. Foreign residents living in Japan have specific activities they can engage in and a predetermined duration for their stay in Japan. Foreign nationals can reside in Japan with a resident status. The period during which one can stay in Japan is referred to as a period of stay. The resident status and period of stay are determined through immigration procedures. It is not permissible to engage in activities beyond one's own resident status without undergoing immigration procedures, and it is also not allowed to stay in Japan beyond the authorized period of stay for the granted resident status. It's essential to always remember the activities allowed by your resident status and your period of stay. The residence card serves as an identification card for foreign nationals living in Japan. It contains information such as your name, nationality, residence status, period of stay, and more. With the exception of tourists, foreign nationals with a period of stay longer than 3 months are issued a residence card by immigration authorities. Individuals aged 16 and above must carry their residence card at all times. Do not lend or deposit your card with others. If immigration or police officers ask to see your residence card, you must show it. Additionally, you will need your residence card for procedures at city, ward, and town offices, as well as when making contracts in Japan. If you lose your residence card or it becomes damaged, you must apply for a replacement from immigration within 14 days. Please check the immigration website for required documents and more details. You cannot engage in activities other than those permitted under your residence status or stay in Japan beyond your approved period. In the following situations, you must apply to immigration for permission. If you plan to stay in Japan beyond your current period of stay, apply for extension of period of stay before your current period expires. If you intend to change your activities to those not covered by your current resident status, apply for change of resident status before starting the new activities. If a child is born in Japan, report the birth to the local city, ward, or town office within 14 days and apply to immigration for acquisition of resident status within 30 days of the birth.
The following items are required for application: passport, residence card, photo, application form, and documentation of activities.
Activity-specific documents are determined based on your residence status.
For more information, please check the Immigration Services Agency's website.
Certain resident statuses prohibit employment activities. Individuals with resident statuses such as student or family stay are not allowed to engage in employment. Even for those with resident statuses permitting work, it is essential to note that you cannot engage in activities, jobs, that differ from those allowed under your specific resident status. If you wish to work part-time or engage in activities, work, different from those permitted under your status of residence, please apply for permission to engage in activities other than those permitted under the status of residence at the Immigration Bureau before you start working. Once permission is granted, you may work within the scope and conditions specified in the approval.
For more information on what is required to apply for a permit to engage in activity other than that permitted under the status of resident, please refer to the Immigration Services Agency's website.
When departing Japan, your resident status and period of stay will be invalidated. However, there's a system that allows you to re-enter Japan while maintaining your current resident status and period of stay if you intend to engage in the same activities.
If you plan to return to Japan within 1 year and possess a passport and residence card, you do not need to obtain a re-entry permit before heading to the airport or seaport. When departing Japan, at the immigration counter in airports or seaports, it is necessary to fill out the required information for the re-entry record, present your passport and residence card, present your passport and residence card, and inform the authorities of your intention to return to Japan.
Within 1 year of departure, you can re-enter Japan while retaining your current resident status and period of stay. After 1 year of departure, or if your period of stay expires within 1 year, please be aware that you may not be able to re-enter Japan. If you plan to return to Japan beyond 1 year of departure, apply for a re-entry permit from the Immigration Bureau before leaving Japan. If approved, you can re-enter Japan within the scope of your period of stay, which can last up to 5 years, while maintaining your current resident status. If you do not intend to return to Japan after departing, you must return your residence card to the immigration authorities.
When leaving Japan, hand over your residence card at the immigration counter at the airport or seaport.
If you fail to re-enter within the allowed period, send your residence card to the immigration authorities by mail.
For detailed information about applying for a re-entry permit and returning your residence card, please refer to the Immigration Services Agency's website.
Those with a resident status for work or as students must notify the Immigration Bureau if their affiliated company, organization, or school changes. Notification is also required if there are changes in the name, location, closure, or termination of affiliation with the company, organization, or school. If a person with marriage status divorces his or her spouse, or if the spouse dies, he or she must notify the immigration office of this fact.
These notifications can be made via postal mail or the internet. For detailed information, please refer to the Immigration Services Agency's website.
Deportation is a system under which foreigners who violate the law are forced to leave Japan. For example, the following situations are subject to deportation proceedings. Remaining in Japan even for 1 day beyond the period of stay. Engaging in activities other than what is permitted by your resident status without going through immigration procedures or making others engage in such activities. Using someone else's residence card or lending your own residence card to others. Receiving certain criminal penalties. Receiving a guilty verdict on violating drug-related laws. The severity of the sentence does not matter. It applies even to fines or suspended sentences. Note that the possession of marijuana and related activities are illegal in Japan. Generally, individuals who are deported are not allowed to re-enter Japan for a period of either 5 or 10 years. If you receive certain criminal penalties or are deported due to violating drug-related laws, you are generally not allowed to re-enter Japan. Cancellation of resident status is a system where resident status is revoked if certain activities related to the granted status are not performed for a specified period while in Japan. If your resident status is canceled, you must leave Japan. For example, the following situations are subject to cancellation of residence status. If individuals holding a resident status for work or study remain in Japan for 3 months or more without engaging in activities corresponding to their resident status after resigning from their affiliated company, organization, or school, there may be implications for their residency status. If an individual with a resident status based on marriage remains in Japan for 6 months or more without engaging in activities corresponding to their resident status after getting divorced or in the event of the death of their spouse, there may be implications for their residency status. For individuals holding a residence card, failing to report a change of address for more than 90 days. Individuals with a residence card must register their address with the municipal office of their city, ward, or town. Failure to register your address can lead to a lack of access to adequate administrative services, so be sure to register. Upon entering Japan with a new landing permission, individuals are required to submit a change of residence notification to the municipal office of the city, ward, or town within 14 days after determining their address. If you are moving, the procedure may vary depending on your new location. If you are moving to a different city, ward, or town, please submit a moving out notification to the municipal office of the area where you have been residing before the relocation. After moving, please submit a change of residence notification to the municipal office of the new city, ward, or town within 14 days from the date of your move. If you move within the same city, ward, or town, please submit a change of address notification to the municipal office of the area where you are currently residing within 14 days from the date of your move. If you are moving to another country, such as returning to your home country, please submit a moving out notification to the municipal office of the area where you have been residing before the relocation. When making these notifications, be sure to bring your residence card. If you have not yet received your residence card, you should bring your passport. For detailed information about these notifications, please check the municipal office's website. Additionally, when moving, apart from notifying the municipal office, you will also need to notify service providers such as electricity, gas, water, and telephone companies of your change of address. For more information, please check the respective company's website. Both Japanese and foreign residents who have registered their address in Japan are assigned a unique number called My Number. This number is unique to each individual. Once your address in Japan is determined, you will receive a My Number notification by postal mail. Your My Number will be written on this notification. My Number is required in various situations, including when receiving pensions or child-rearing allowances, when receiving medical services, when sending money abroad or receiving money from abroad, when opening a bank account. It is convenient to create a My Number card in advance for when it is needed. The My Number card is an IC chip-equipped card with your My Number printed on it. The My Number card can be used not only as proof of your My Number, but also to obtain a copy of your residential certificate at convenience stores and for some administrative services available on the internet. To obtain a My Number card, you must apply at the municipal office of your residence. After moving, you can apply for it together with your change of residence form. The initial application is free of charge. After receiving the My Number card, if there are changes to your name, address, etc., you will need to update the card at the municipal office of your residence. The validity of the My Number card is the same as the expiration date on your period of stay. If you extend your period of stay, you will need to update the My Number Card's expiration date at the municipal office of your residence. If you apply for a period of stay extension or change of residence status and the result is not available before the expiration date of your My Number Card, you will still need to update the card's expiration date. For more information about the My Number Card, visit the My Number Card comprehensive website or check the municipal office's website for your city, ward, or town. To avoid forgetting the necessary applications and notifications, make sure to thoroughly understand the rules of immigration and address changes